What's up, everybody? I'm back. I'm back. So this is going to be another channel message that I picked up on. It's kind of like not really a part two. Let me play with these little. I want to play with the little light stuff. It's not really part two, but it kind of goes along with what I was saying with the sunken place peas or whatever. I don't know. I might say some bad words in this reading or this channel message, like just as a side note to kind of relate, because if that makes sense with you, if it resonates. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If you guys don't like cuss words or vulgar words, bad words, profanity, whatever, then don't watch. Um, this is closing of the bad bee as the divine goddess takes back her throne. So it's not that we ever left. It's just, the energies and the programming that's been put on everybody is basically under the matrix energy we're under is man-made, and what he feels comfortable with, and not even, it's not divine masculines that created this programming. It's beta males, basically, not alpha, not godly males. These are lower vibrational men. They're not, I guess, confirming it for you. So yeah, let's get into the so-called, bad bees out there. These women, like the essence of these like specific people or women or what have you, are very wounded individuals. They're very wounded individuals looking for validation. They also have a lot of them have wounded hearts, closed off heart chakras. um, they seek superficial connections, and they love admiration. They feed off of attention. Most of them don't really have the hearts to love and give. So it's kind of like you have to think of it in a way like, how could they give love when they lack that within themselves? They lack that ability to even truly love their own selves. So a lot of them may have been raped, molested, abused, physically abused in many different ways, or like mental, emotionally, like all this different stuff. So you kind of have to take into consideration what you're dealing with, you know, and that's not an excuse because, divine goddesses, divine feminine energies, we also have been wounded and molested and abused in many different like aspects, like mentally, emotionally, physically, all kind of different ways. So if it makes sense, it makes sense to you. But the thing is, um, you have to choose to want to heal that. You know what I mean? You have to want to heal that within yourself. But yeah, the bad bitch template is pretty much like they mostly only tend to their outer appearances, um, and the outer world, the material world, rather than anything within themselves. Like their inner being, they could care less about what's going on inside of them. They don't address it. They don't focus on it. They don't want to heal it. Um, some of these bad bitches are so-called bad bitches. It's like, I tried to be like that because I thought that that's what men at the time that I was dating wanted me to be, and I could never be that false energy because it wasn't me. Like, that was not me. I could not play like that energy. A lot of it's, divine feminines that play into that whole role of this bad bitch energy. It's really lack of healing within the self, and a lot of divine feminines have the power to heal and save themselves out of that. Okay. um it's just really more so about loving and healing yourself. So some of them are divine feminines who just need healing, while some of them are just here to bring upon destruction to the real true femininity energies, while also feeding into the agenda of breaking up the divine feminine and masculine unions. Like, that's part of the agenda too. The fuck men or fuck niggas and get money type of mentality. Just like men say bitches, money over hoes or money over bitches. Same thing, but like it's a women saying it. And that's another thing. Like, women are trying to play into this wounded masculine. It's not even real masculinity, it's a falsehood masculinity that a lot of women are aligning themselves up to be. Um, it's a prime example of that. So their pursuits are really just to feed the ego. They really have no pursuits in feeding the soul and the heart within themselves or even with people around them. Everything is superficial. Friendships, love relationships, everything is for appearances and to feed their ego, to make them feel good about themselves, to look good in front of people, to look good on social media. Like, it's never anything real. Um, They also, just like it's easy, they can feed your ego. If you're like a divine masculine watching, just as much as they can feed your ego, they can easily break your ego down too. Like, make you feel very small and very little at the same time. They play a lot of games. Um, they can offer a good time, they offer a good time. Some of them don't really have no personalities or anything, but most of them have like the ability to like offer a good time. They'll do some freaky stuff with you. Like, they'll do whatever. And that's not to say that divine feminines and goddesses are not freaky too. It's just depending on the person. Like, we don't just do anything with anybody. Like, you got to be somebody for me to energetically, you got to be somebody for me to even do half the stuff. Like, I'm not just going to lay, and not even for money. Like, money's really nothing either. But most of them, they'll do things with no strings attached, which is why they're fun to deal with. They'll do whatever sexually, so you might have good sex with them occasionally. Some of them are really bad at it, but with some of them, yeah, it's like they'll give you a good time. Like, they'll feed your ego. That's what I'm saying. Like, they'll do the things that other women will be like, no. And sometimes it's like, no, because like, you don't deserve that. Like, I'm not doing that for you. Like, what are you bringing to the table that I should be, you know, lowering myself just to make you feel good? They'll do it. But it's all for the ego. It's to get something out of a person, out of a man. It's never like in a place of love. It's feeding their own ego. Um, like I said, they lack empathy and true nurturing abilities, in which the true divine feminine energy represents. They don't have that ability within them. Even those that have kids, like some of them have kids with no good men, either to keep them, to get a check, or simply because they weren't being careful. They weren't being responsible. And not everybody that has babies out of wedlock are responsible. I had my child pretty young. I was 20 years old when I had my daughter, and I was not thinking at the time either. Um, but yeah, it's like they don't have that empathy. That a lot of them, um, and it's not to bash anyone, because some of them are wounded. A lot of them are wounded, and some of them, like I said, came down here for the sole purpose to be destructive. Not everybody on this planet means well and is a good person in the heart of them. Some of them are just, if you want to call it evil, bad, low vibrational, some people, that's just who they are, and no more, no less. It is what it is. Um, but I think the misconception of the divine feminine is she's like some sort of like nun or something. Like, she's weak minded, she's a slave, she's boring, or she's unattractive, she's not sexy. But the true nature of a real divine feminine, she's a boss. Like, let's keep it real. Like, a lot of divine feminines I know are the most dopest women in the world. They are what, if I was a man, I would be with them. Like, some of them I'd be like, why are y'all single? But I know that it's a deeper meaning for that. There's much more to why they're single than meets the eye. But like I said, these are dope women. A lot of them. Okay. They have so much to them. They fight their battles internally and outwardly. Like, they are warrioresses. Us divine goddesses, us divine feminines, we're warriors, we're goddesses. And not like in a boisterous or egotistical way. It's an essence of we come from the divine source. We walk in our divinity on this earth as who we are, and our presence and our energy, even if we fall short sometimes. Um, Divine feminine is both beautiful outwardly and inwardly. Like their energy shines so bright. They don't have to look like this person and that person to be beautiful. They have their own energy and their own essence that they carry. There's something about them. When you see them, they have their own beauty. They have their own uniqueness, their own style. They don't talk like everybody else. They don't dress like everybody else. They don't do everything that everybody else does. They're their own person. Um, yeah, they're mysterious. They're mysteriously sexy too and bold. Like they're just like it's a cat. Like it's like you see this cat like slowly just like, well, like who is that? Like it's not like a hoe, walking in with it's energy is different. The whole vibe is different. Not anything like what you are used to or what you've had before, which is why a lot of your divine masculines are like in situations where they're conflicted because they it's something special about you because you're not like everybody else that they've come across. You're not. It's not just the way that you look, it's the way that you carry yourself and what you represent. They're not used to that. You know what I mean? So it's your vibe, everything about you is different. So you're also not a person like you walk in your truth fearlessly. You are who you are. You seek your own approval. You're a warrior. You're someone who will show how to get shit done. Like, I'm going to show you how to heal these wounds. I'm going to show you how to live and be your authentic self. I'm going to show you how to love. I'm going to show you what divine power is. Like, that's what a bad bitch is, actually, in essence. It's not about looking cute. It's not about how much money you can stack and rack up at the club or how many men you can play and get money from and how many trips you take and how many Louis Vuittons you own. It's not about that. Like, that's nothing in the grand scheme of things. Like, how many people have you healed? How have you healed your own templates of trauma within yourself and your family? How many people have you helped find their own divinity and help them embrace who they are? Can you say you've done that? It's not about how many niggas you fucked, excuse my language, or how many women you fucked, whatever resonates with you. It's not about none of that stuff. How many followers you have on Instagram, how fine you look or how fine you think you look, because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. How fat your ass is, how big your titties are, how flat your stomach is, how light skin, how dark skin, how long, how short your hair is, doesn't matter. All this stupid stuff that people argue about. In the grand scheme of things, that means nothing in the spirit realm. Nothing. It's like shit on a stick in the spirit realm. That's nothing. Anywho, yeah, they have the courage to fix themselves. That's another thing about the divine feminines. I'm boasting y'all up right now. I'm speaking to all my divine feminines. Like, you have the power to fix your wounds, even when it's hard as hell to do. It's not easy. We all know that healing and releasing and awakening or what have you is not easy. She loves unconditionally and she heals. She doesn't settle for less than what she deserves either. She doesn't sell her soul to the highest bidder either. She's also in tune with herself and others. She's in tune with those around her. She can sense everything. She can sense this person's feelings and thoughts and know when they're hurting, know when they're happy, they're sad, what they need. That's how she can sense. She's connected in tune with the earth, not just the people on it, but the animals, the plants, the planetary alignment. She feels everything. She's also good on her own. She really doesn't need anybody, but she still honors divine unions. She still divine. She still honors her divine masculine. She honors that union between the masculine and feminine principles. She still honors that. Even though it's not her job to mold or fix the masculine energy, she has the power to awaken him, though, to his true self. She has that power to do that. She also has the energy and the essence to uplift and encourage him. And I'm saying him because that's what resonates with me more, but your divine masculine could be feminine too, or a female, excuse me. But she has the power to awaken him to his true self, uplift him to be his greatest version. Although, like one of my sisters says, she does not co-sign the bullshit. She's not going to co-sign your bullshit, and that's because she won't allow you to live under an illusion. Like, that's not what she's here to do. She's not here to feed your ego. She's here to feed your soul and to help you elevate. So this fake, diva, boss chick, bow down, I'm a shit on others because I got this more than you, I got more money than you, I got more this and more that, rather than about helping. That template is falling down. Like, this divine feminine is about unity and encouraging one another to step forth in their light, not turning one down, competing, nor even demonizing the divine masculine energy or connections or unions. It's not about that. It's kind of like, you have to think about it, like, why do certain divas, that they call it, like pop stars and divas, are on the top? Because most of them, they get paid to spread this false female empowerment agenda as like this whore, this whorish, slutty, F men get money, I'm a slut, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna get on my knees, I'll do this, and I'm gonna shit on the next person, I'm coming up and roll up in my Maserati, like just stupid stuff, like that type of deviant agenda. It's not to say that, dark goddesses, like we all have a dark side to us, and we also have that seductive, freaky side to us, but it's all how you channel it and how you use it, you know. Um, so the true divine femininity that was inherited through the divine mother is here. It's always been here. I feel like, just like, this is me. Like, I always tell people, I don't like giving predictions, but when spirit gives me a prediction, I sit with that. So I just feel that you're going to see a lot of scandals surrounding more cheating, secrets being exposed in relationships, breakups happening, and that's because some divine feminines and masculines who are currently in toxic relationships right now are awakening to their divinity. So that's why you're going to see people splitting up, because some of them are divine feminines and are divine masculines, and they are splitting up. And they're seeking out their one person. They're seeking their soul tribe as well. Some of them are already like single, but they're breaking free of any unhealthy like programming surrounding love, multiple partnerships. And even if you're into multiple partners, because some people, that could be their path to have more than one divine feminine or divine masculine, it's just about separating yourself from the toxic ones. You know what I mean? So some will continue to tear one another down, cheat, lie on each other, abuse each other, and remain in superficial connections for, money, sex, looks, and the status quo, rather than the heart and soul reasons. So because they refuse to heal and come higher, basically, they don't really, these are people that don't want to evolve. So sadly, it's just people out there that's really avoiding themselves. Basically, you're avoiding yourself. So it's easier to continue to wear these false masks rather than facing yourself, because it's not easy. Let's be real. When we evolve and we awaken, or when we embrace ourselves and what we don't like about ourselves, because it equally goes hand in hand, that's not an easy process. So I feel like it's more so, not everybody is meant to evolve. Like I said, people have a place on this planet. Some people are meant to evolve, meant to come higher. Some people, they're of heart and soul. And some people come here, they don't have souls. Not everybody has a heart. Not everybody. Like, just look at the world. Like, a lot of heinous crimes and evil things that take place, and just the rulers of this world, this planet that we're on, there's a lot of people, they don't have hearts, they don't have souls, they don't have love in their heart. But on a good note, let's get to the sweet, loving stuff. If you guys can hear my sister in the back, she's real obnoxious. Sometimes she's loud. On a good note, you will also see powerhouse unions and true divine connections coming to the forefront too. So counterparts who have been walking in their own individual truths and paths, even if they are or aren't together with their divine counterpart in some ways, like you guys could talk, but not really be fully together, you know what I mean? Or you guys can be separate and never see each other where whatever resonates, or you haven't met each other yet, or you don't know each other exists, individually you guys are walking in your paths and living out your purposes and whatever spirit has planned for you. um those connections, they will be living out their purposes together. So this is why it's essential that you walk in your own path. You walk your own path, embrace your gifts and flaws, do your healing works, because you have to be ready to show up as you are with confidence spiritually. Like, you have to be within, like, in your wholeness within yourself, because it's like, I know who I am. I know what I have to offer and give this world. I know what my strengths are, and I know what my weaknesses are. Like, I know who I am. Your divine half complements the aspects of this of yourself that you lack. That's why it's best to know your strengths and know your weaknesses, because they also, like, whatever they lack, you are able to, you have that. Okay, so it's like you guys balance each other out. So it's kind of like with your divine half, it's like the two of you come together to complete this whole picture puzzle. So you don't really have to know how the entire picture is going to come out, or what the entire picture represents. Basically, you don't really have to know exactly what your so-called mission is or the purpose of this. All you have to know is that you're puzzles. Like, I'm a puzzle, they're a puzzle, whatever. You just have to know that you're a puzzle and you play a role in um this coming together. Just, you just need to know that you guys are puzzles and you guys are a part of something bigger. You guys are a part of something big. So that's why it's important to walk on your own individual journey and path and do what you need to do for yourself. Not lean upon the other person, not worry about the other person and what they're doing or what they're not doing. Because that's a distraction. That's a big ass distraction. So I get it now. I hope that resonates with somebody out there. And if it didn't, just was not for your ears to hear. It's not for you. So much love as always. I appreciate everybody who's watching.